Hi, I'm Mike, owner of the Ingram in Phoenix, Arizona. Today I'm doing a video to tell you guys that I'm actually going to be in the Netherlands this weekend at the record fair in Den Bosch. It is the largest record fair in the entire world. It is massive. I'll lay some video throughout this video to show you guys my last trip to Den Bosch, which was in 2023. No, it was 2022. It's been a while. But that last trip, ton of fun. I set up, I was a dealer, I was a buyer, I had a ton of fun. I shot a lot of video. I posted some of it. I didn't post as much of it as I probably should have. This year, I'm going to remedy that. I'm going to shoot a lot more video and post a lot more video. But I'm really looking forward to going out there and finding nice squirrely records and selling some of what I'm bringing. It should be a lot of fun. It's a great show. It is. People ask me to describe it, and just think of like a couple of Costco's, maybe 2 or 3 Costco's just filled with records. It's that massive. It is huge. The largest record show in the world. Mostly European dealers, but I mean, there's dealers. There's actually, oddly enough, there's very few dealers from the United States, but there's dealers from Mexico, South America, Africa, Japan, Australia. I mean, every aspect of record collecting there is covered. I mean, they have everything. It is truly a spectacular show. If you're a big time record collector, like if you're a degenerate, at some point you should go to this show. If you're just an average record collector, okay. But if you're like a record degenerate and you want to see like the mecca of records, it's Den Bosch. So I had a ton of fun last time I was there. I'm doing it again. I'll be bringing my new girlfriend, Alicia. She's very stoked. She kind of was like, is it okay? Should we go? I mean, should I go? I feel bad. You're paying for the trip. I'm like, well, to make it up for you, I've got all these records. You can, it'll be fun. You're going to love it. You're going to be at the table. You're going to be talking to people, taking their money, giving change. Like, it's going to be wonderful for you. I don't know. She's going to love it. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going. We've been on a few trips together, but this is going to be the big trip together. But I'm going to show you guys some of the records we are going to be bringing. On a side note, we're in booth 822A. Now, last time I was there, my booth was next to like an outside roll-up door, and I just froze. I'm from the desert. It's warm here in Phoenix, Arizona. So to go from, 115 degree, 120 degree Fahrenheit summers, to our Arctic winters that are like in the 50s, to go to Den Bosch and it's like freezing, literally. It was a lot for me to handle. So I was actually, please, can you move me? So they moved me last time. So the booth I was in, people came looking for me and I actually wasn't there. But I looked at the map this time and it looks like my booth is away from any sort of like outside hatch and or roll-up door, anything that would cause me to freeze. Although I did a lot of shopping this time. I've just got jackets upon jackets upon jackets. If you can't recognize me, that's because I'll be the one looking like the big giant Mr. Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, because I don't want to be cold. But as of now, 822A, I will be there for the entire show, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Now, Friday is a dealer-only day, but Saturday and Sunday, if you're in Den Bosch, if you're in the show, come check it out. I know a lot of you guys that watch this channel will actually be there. So come by, say hi. I'm actually going to bring not only the records I'm about to show you, there's a bunch of stuff I've got going there, but I'm going to be bringing all the Coherent releases that I distribute, the new Benny Wallace, which is absolutely unbelievable. I highly recommend it. I'll be bringing that. The Jacob Went record that I also, on Hayden Records, that I also distribute. So what is that? 5 records I distribute at this point. So all 5 of those will be there. Oh, including the Wild Times that I actually reissued with my buddy Johnny D. I helped get that thing to market. I will have that as well. That is mastered by Bernie Grunman from the original Analog Master tape, tip-on jacket, press that RTI. That was a great fun doing that, and great psychedelic from Phoenix, Arizona, like early psych garage, psych rock. But I'll be bringing some more of those as well. But let me show you guys some of what I'm bringing. Now, I've done the show long enough to know, like it's been a couple years since I've been there, but I did shows in the past, and there's certain type of records that do well there because they just don't have a ton of these things floating around there. Although they have everything, but American records, you don't find in quantity, say, as opposed to UK, Dutch records, German records, that kind of thing. But I'll start with the most popular record in the entire world. This is the most known record in the entire world. This is a Third State Butcher, the Beatles, Yesterday and Today. You can talk to many people who know nothing about records, and a lot of people actually know a little something about that record, as opposed to, you know, an average record. They would just look at you and say, my CD player don't play that. What am I going to do with that? But there's a cool story with that. It's a fun piece. Everybody loves The Butcher. A beautiful RL, double RL, Presswell. I'm going to bring this. Really solid, top-notch audiophile record. Not the mintest copy ever, but a really solid copy. Solid play copy for sure. Loosely Tight. This is a heavy rock band out of Tucson, Arizona. Very desirable record. You get a lot of psychedelic in Arizona. The Southwest in general is a good psych scene. You know, I don't get tons of Blue Note collections in here. Well, occasionally. But I don't get tons of rare jazz through Phoenix because that wasn't really common to the city. The great jazz that I get in Phoenix tends to come from elsewhere, and it was brought when somebody moved. But psych was quite popular here in the day, and this is a very extremely difficult psych record to find. This is the Lollipop Shop, just color on uni. Very difficult. A beautiful copy of The Doors, Strange Day, second album by the greatest band of all time. Beautiful sealed copy. Erykah Badu. This is a white label promo of Mama's Gun. White label promo. Nice white label promo from international artists. This is Lost and Found. White label promo. This is a nice clean copy. Beautiful clean in the shrink copy of The Byrds. Turn, Turn, Turn. Columbia 2i. A lot of this type of stuff, you know. Capitol Beatles aren't extremely common over there like they are here, but really nice, clean, original. The early Beatles. This is cool. This is a club copy of the Beatles Revolver in shrink. Very nice. Club copies are a few ways to identify them. One is they have this triple bar up top, but two, the catalog number is different. So if you look on the catalog number of a typical copy of Revolver, it'd be ST2576. That would be the stereo designation for this record. But they added an 8 to all the club copies, so this is ST-8-2576. Some good classic, some blues here. Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble, Couldn't Stand the Weather. Now, a record that everybody's looking for here in the States would be the UK copy of Sex Pistols, Nevermind the Bollocks. Beautiful yellow cover, but in the United States, we got a slightly different variation. We got the pink color. This looks like a reissue, but it is not. It is just an extremely clean, original US copy. When you think of American records, what do you think of? Like American artists? Of course you think of the Beach Boys, and they're very difficult to find clean. But this is a nice copy of the Beatles, the Beach Boys Shut Down, Volume 2 in shrink. One of the greatest records of all time, definitely a top 10 record. That is the Beach Boys' Pet Sounds. Original Capitol pressing. A little bit later, this came out in 1972, but is loved by audiophiles. Many claim it is the best sounding version. I don't necessarily agree. I did a video on it, but, you know, I'm still happy to sell it. Nice copy too in shrink. And then just clean stuff like this. The Beatles Magical Mystery Tour. Nice clean with the book. US copies of The Beatles Let It Be. Nice solid copy. And with the insert, with the printed inner, The Beatles Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band stereo copy. So I'm bringing a lot of cool stuff. This is just a very small sampling. I've got a lot more going. But if you are in Den Bosch, come check us out at booth 822A. And stay tuned to the channel. Again, I'm going to have a lot more in the way of, you know, video footage, the goings on from the fair. All right, guys, until next time.